Division 1 is what we're in. And we are on one of my favorite maps, Herr. It's a balanced versus balanced matchup. And on the left side in blue, we've got Shkodder, the division that has celebrated a bit of a comeback lately. The first Lovash. On the other side, under the lead of Herr Robert, we got one of the FJ boys. The first Fallschirmjäger division. Maybe the weakest of the Fallschirmjägers. That's why it dodged the ban here, I guess. Compared to 4th and 3rd. But it's still a Fallschirmjäger division. And Fallschirmjägers currently are quite the beasts. So let's see how they play out. We need to rely on Tigers and Jagdpanzers though. Unlike the other Fallschirmjägers, which have a bit more versatile tank tabs, and they also have some other tools that are missing here, but they're still quite the strong force. Quite the force to reckon with. They still have Püppchen and so on. So I am quite interested to see who will win here between these two players. And I'm interested to see what you think who will win this. So I will put up a vote and see who do you think will win this game. Will it be Herr Robert or will it be Shkodder with the Lovash, the Hungarians? Quite the interesting. And yeah, after playing a bit of Nebulous, this felt nice. Bit of casting again, bit of competitive play. I'm pretty sure I did. Oh no, it still. Why did it not change up? I guess it was an issue there. I was supposed to change it. I was supposed to change it. Okay, now at least we got skill division. Thanks for the heads up. Well, but Lovash is also pretty solid on these ranges, as they have the 500-meter range rifles that are pretty good. Well, let's see. As the game starts. Thanks for the heads up, Tom. Thanks for the heads up. Whoa, yeah, but yeah, people believe in the strength of the Fallschirmjägers. I feel like first Fallschirmjäger is beatable though. Did it quite a while, but the Stovestrippen are pretty good, and the Fallschirmjägers themselves obviously also quite nasty. But the Lovash has some light armor that can be quite good in dealing with infantry. And what they also got is a cheap artillery tab. Sadly no radio mortars there, but yeah. Schwarzlos coming in to try to deal with the Fallschirmjägers in the long range engagements. Schwarzlos over here is dealing damage. But Scharfschützen and MG34s on the other side. Ju-88 in the air. Will try to spot. Hey Scout. I'm doing pretty well. Ooh, and we got the first Nimrod in. Nimrod? The only 40mm, like medium AA gun still with 16 accuracy. This is because they have some special targeting system in it. Which is it. The interesting part is that the Landswerk doesn't have it. I'm not quite sure if the Hungarians put something special on it. I thought it would have been the Swedish, if anyone. But yeah, interesting vehicle here, the Nimrod. One of the most deadly AA pieces in the game, thanks to the accuracy on its AA shells. 16 accuracy on AA is really, really good for medium range guns. The usual ones have 14 or 12. Okay, so people are really believing into Herr Robert, nobody believing into Shkodder here. Let's see. Turan gets killed by Püppchen. Püppchen on the battlefield. Can the totally kill off the Püppchen before it deals more damage? doesn't seem to be. Toldi has to disengage. Doesn't have HE rounds for its 20 mil, so has to be careful there. Toldi 2A has HE rounds for its 40 millimeter. Tries to deal some damage. JO88 stays in the air. Herr Robert on the 1410 now. The usual flag captured in the north, in the forest, and one flag captured in the town. Can Shkodder hold on? Nimrod is moving in. Got a transport killed there. Lost the flag in the town. Second Pipshin is around. Pipshin gets killed off though. Okay, Pipshin over here gets killed off. Pipshin is killed off. In the north, Huzaroks and Huzarok Golyorsk holding the line. Whilst an off-map comes in, and off-map is key in Harushaya. Good off-map in the center can help out quite a lot. Overall, Harushaya's town is a bit more open than other towns, but still, it's a really big area, so you have a lot of fights in these towns. I really like it because you can use CQC units in like buildings like these, or like over here where there's not as much line of sight, but also you can use snipers and long range ones to fire from one row of the buildings into another row of buildings. I really like these blocks and the possibilities they allow for armored and infantry play. The off-map here looks perfect. Not gonna lie, you couldn't do much better off-map right now, I think, than the circle Shkodder put up there. So this could be quite brutal and could help him out quite a lot. Next Pipshin comes up. Will get hit hard here. Toldi gets killed off. Pipshin has to disengage. Gets killed off here. Meanwhile, Turan moves forward. Whilst the tall Turan over here is rolling in, trying to get the surrender on Fallschirmjägers. And killing Fallschirmjägers off infantry is always worthwhile, because they're so expensive per single squad. If you can get the surrender here, that would be amazing. The question is, can the Turan spot these infantry units, even if he's Turan right next to them? He might not be able to. Ooh, that was risky. Popping out of the building there. The moment the enemy is driving by, that could have gotten him spotted maybe. We would have been a bit less careful. Turan over here, hitting the Ostlegionnaires. Schwarzlos coming in. Shkodder bringing it back to an 11-13. Whilst Terror tries to push out in the north with Fallschirmjäger Stoßtruppen and some Ostlegionnaires. But the Huzarok Golyorsk hold quite well. There's a Panzerabwehr here, so the Toldi has to be careful. With its MG. Has to be really careful. Well, the off-map did okay. Killed a couple of squads, and it pushed Herr Robert back. So, allowed a bit of breathing room here. And also could have given Shkodder a bit of room to recapture. Didn't quite do that though. 210mm now coming in the north. Not quite sure if it's needed as actually. Feel like he's winning here already. Ooh, Toldi gets sniped now by the Panzerabwehr though. And Shkodder sees it the same. Now brings it back into the middle again. Let's see what its target will be this time. As the Wolf 189 is coming in. Ooh, long range fire, long lasting fire onto the supply line is what Shkodder is going for. Which is kinda annoying. But yeah, interesting choice here. The Jagdpanzer is the only thing coming in though. Whilst we see a Flak 36 over here now. Trying to get the Focke-Wulf. Not quite able to do so though. Not quite able to do so. Turan over here. That's a good job. As I said, the light tanks are really helpful against infantry like this. I mean, the Turan is cheaper than the Fallschirmjäger squad. So you can do quite a bit with them. Issue obviously are the Pipchins and the LGs mixed in with the Fallschirmjägers. Whilst we have a 14-10 now for Herr Robert in this game. Lovesh coming in from the rear. Turan hitting the MGs. J88 keeps around. Another Flak 36 coming in. Herr Robert, always a big fan of big guns. Not so much of tanks. He's usually really the guy for a lot of infantry guns. A lot of Flak 36 and Flak 41s. Which in my eyes always make him quite vulnerable to artillery play in the long run. Like artillery play, especially as Robert always never has been the best in dodging the artillery. So good artillery play against Robert is what always felt quite rewarding from my memory. But he's still quite scary. Fallschirmjäger, Stoßtruppen, and Fallschirmjägers in the building. Quite good infantry, obviously. Whilst Faldy's sitting around here. Turan over here. Firing onto the Fallschirmjägers. With its 2 MGs. And a pretty good HE gun. 75mm HE gun with 12 rounds per minute. Quite good HE output there. Wolf comes in with some bombs. Gets kills. Gets home. Virginia Panzer coming in. And Ostlegionnaires are not the right choice here. Bujaroks are so much better with the FEG, which is a pretty good rifle. Somewhere between the automatic rifles and the normal carabines. Straight up pullback. Quite good damage there. And the Dunova 43 is one of the best SMGs in the game actually. So in CQC, against Ostlegionnaires with PPSH and some Mozins, they actually do really well. Especially as you've also outnumbered them heavily. So, and have better veterancy. And as you can see, the Bujaroks just completely annihilate the Ostlegionnaires here. Really bad choice for the units here for Herr Robert. Maybe he wanted to mix them in with the Stoßtruppen, but even that wouldn't have worked out in this territory right now, so has to retreat. Flak 36s and LG42 at least help out against the Hujar Golyorsk. Those have to retreat. Nimrod keeps the BF-109 at bay. No veterancy on it yet. If this thing gets veterancy, it's going completely nuts. Meanwhile, in the south, some Hujaroks coming in for Herr Robert. He will try to push over to the other side of this ridge. And there are 3 flags to capture here, so this is always a good target to go for, but you have to be careful. This can be quite the bottleneck, so you always have to be really decisive when you push in here, but if you do so, can get up to 59 quite quickly. Meanwhile, Jagdpanzer 38T, also known as the Hetzer, he is coming in the north. It's the Flak 36. Open up onto another Bujarok, using up the HE rounds. Shkodder really close of getting the flag back in the middle. Fallschirmjägers here losing out against Hujar Golyorsk with their 3 LMGs. 16-man squads. Shkodder bringing it back to a 12-12. And yeah, cut off over here. If it has more bombs now. This is an interesting loadout on weapons, by the way. Or if it is another one, I don't think so. Maybe it is. Maybe it is another one. Meanwhile, Hujar Golyorsk coming in itself. Maybe it's just being called in though, without any more call-ins, just to bait out Flak 36 ammo. J88s. Lots of Schwarzlows engaging the Ostlegionnaires. 12-12. J88 keeps on flying around. Another Püppchen coming in the middle. Jagdpanzer is around here now as well. And yeah, with only Jagdpanzers and Tigers, beating up the light tanks So like Yak Panthers or Tigers to deal with them. I guess the LGs and the Flak 36 do a pretty okay job as well, but you can't bring them into this territory. So here the Toldies and Tyrants reign currently, making it quite annoying for Robert right now, and keeping it at a 12-12. Whilst in Focke-Wulf comes to the battlefield, does a bombing run onto the south, will it pin down one Vulture and give the flag to Shkodder, who's now up to 13-11. Moving up with some Tyrants in here as well. Whilst the Ost Legionnaire are getting hit. Tyrann is moving in. There's no AT weapons around here currently, so well, the flamethrowers kinda count as AT, I guess, as they do some damage. Coming in as well. Tyrann heading over here. BF-109 tries to get the kill. Bombs are going out though. The Ju-88. BF-109 flying around. Good bombing run here, hitting everything. MG forced to fall back, gets killed off. Flamethrower gets surrendered. Oh no, gets killed off as well. The other one not surrendering just yet. Toldi gets killed off by the Flak 36. Trying to get the fight here. And Tyrann does this quite well. Vulture Pioneers coming in. They are quite efficient for 30 points. 12-man crews with G43s, 2 FGs, and an LMG. Quite good for 30 points, especially if the TNT might need to go up to 35 points in my eyes. But currently they're really and bombers like this are really annoying for a guy playing with more expensive infantry. But the Flak 41 is trying their best to get him to fall back. The bombs are flying though, at least 3 out of 4. So they might hit the target. Not quite. But what they achieve for sure is a fallback. So now Shkodder can move in, gets the first surrender. Might get the second surrender there. Yeah, gets the second surrender. Meanwhile, in the north, LGs another Focke-Wulf call-in. Guess this is still the one without off-map. We will see in a second though. Another Flak 36 coming in. Herr Robert really going ham on the Flak 36 card here. Yeah, Flak 88 shooting here. But they will run out of HE rounds at one point if they continue this. This one already down to 4. This one still has quite a lot. Other one somewhat low. Ju-80 70D coming in. Focke-Wulf there to try to catch the AA, I guess, and let the D5 run through. Jagdpanzer is retreating though, and the next Flak 36, as you can see, already on the way. So I don't quite see JU not being able to get the run through. But at least the 88 now takes the fire. Herr Robert, not usually the guy for focus fire. So the J87 will survive to see another day. And you can really start to see the Flak 36 running out of ammo here. Two Flaks captured in the south by Shkodder, but he lost one in the middle and lost one in the north. So this is really not good for him. Yeah, I feel like they have to invest into too many other points, and both both divisions don't have the best artillery. I mean, you have radio mortars in 1st FJ. And you have some cheap guns in Lovash, if I remember correctly, but it's not the pinnacle of artillery play in either of these divisions. Whilst Herr Robert goes up to 1311 now. By capturing back the flag down here. I was like searching where did he capture one, but he didn't. He just captured his one back in the south. Fallschirmjäger Pioneers rolling in. Fallschirmjäger Panzerabwehr joining here as well. Ooh. Hetzer has to disengage there. Try to keep itself alive. Whilst in the north, Fallschirmjäger Stoßgruppen coming up with Grenadier MG42, which for 20 points are pretty decent. One of the few Grenadier squads which actually is okay, as they have MG42. They don't have any infantry AT though, and they're still only 9-man squads, which for the Grenadiers is a big hindrance compared to other 30-point squads which have 10-man or 11-man even. Well, it's more Hujarok Goliors coming in. Some light tanks as well. They should be pretty good. Yeah, 81mm mortars, especially with radio, can be really decent in town. But as you can see, Herr Robert, more the guy for the direct fire stuff. A lot of LG42s, Flak 36s. As Shkodder doesn't need artillery because he has firepower from the skies. A couple more Ju-88s coming in. And making it quite annoying for Robert there now. 11, 13 here. Shkodder needs to keep it up. Try to bring it back. Whilst Robert is all about the pressure. Pioneers down here on the heavy fire though. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not worthwhile bringing the artillery, but I mean, his bombers coming in and destroying stuff, also not that inefficient. So yeah, I guess he rather focused on bombers. But yeah, some radio stuff would have been nice. Meanwhile, Turan rolling in the south. We have a Nimrod firing up into the north, not killing anything. Another Nimrod coming up. This one at least has a leader now next to it, so it has one star veterancy. B109 gets still through though, so it was too far away. Schwarzloh is now trying to kill off the Maxim over here. Will take a while though. Jagdpanzer is around. More Schwarzlohs coming in. More AA pieces as well. Some Bofors as we hit Seaface. And Herr Robert still up 13-11. And as we play with a 55-minute time limit, that might be becoming important. That might become important. As Herr Robert only holding 13 points right now. And maybe he will get outspammed by Lovash in Seaface. Balanced Lovash. With air, with infantry, and with cheap artillery. But it will be quite tough to crack the quadruple Flak 36 combo. That will be kinda annoying. Especially as there's already a supply truck to refill the one that got emptied out earlier. Now we have the first artillery pieces though, the 31M, nearly 150, 149mm. Whilst we have a first heavy bomber on the side of Robert with a Ju-88A4. And did not match. Okay, in the center. In the center we have the AA piece, and in the center Hujarok Goliorsk. Getting killed off by Fallschirmjäger Stoßtruppen. Fallschirmjäger Stoßtruppen, 3 FG42 and a Bren make them quite deadly on long to medium ranges. 2 Beretters help out as well, and the Molotov is for anything coming close. These Stoßtruppen are really, really nice. I think so. Like with First FJ, I'm fine. Currently, like even currently. Meanwhile, Hujarok engaging Grenadier MG42 down below. Schwarzlose opening up. More artillery pieces coming in here. More 31 M's. Meanwhile, in the north, all these moving forward together with Terrans. No Panzervernichtungen around anymore. No long-range infantry anti-tank. Meaning that there's no push here for Robert. But Shkodder will have a tough time capturing it back either. Either he has to use artillery or off-map. Like, on-map artillery or off-map artillery to try to break it. Meanwhile, this BF-109 might get too close here. Nope. No, not quite. Light tanks dealing with Fallschirmjägers quite well in the center. 1410 for Herr Robert still though, which is not good for Shkodder whatsoever. Whilst the AA of Herr Robert is nearly good enough beating this out. But. Oh god. I need to stand up in a second again. Did some sport earlier today and woke up a bit early. And yeah, my circulatory system is not on its best, so I will do stand up now or fall asleep. Not really tired, but just like somewhat exhausted. Yeah. Lovesh is doing good here. Tolly is hitting. Turan hitting from over here. Jarox against the Fallschirmjägers. A lot of pinned down Fallschirmjägers, and the AA, as you can see, with the Nimrods and the body molds working out quite well as well. One of the ME410s gets its bombs off, but it might pay for it with its life, as it gets heavily fired upon by the Nimrods. Can the Nimrods finish up their job? Yes, they can, so that's not really worthwhile either. Jagdpanzer is moving forward, and this is obviously scary. We can maybe even try to kill it off with a Nimrod. So the Nimrod have some heat shells with 200mm penetration with 750m range. 10 damage, so they not quite kill a Jagdpanzer 4, which I guess would be the problem there, even if you hit. And the artillery pieces here, not really used yet. Whilst Herr Robert is bringing ammunition to his Flak 36s, and he's slow pushing with them. 59 here for Herr Robert. And it starts to become a bit scary here for Shkodder. Like, he's ticking down hard, and even if he can't bring it back, he needs to push back Herr Robert heavily as well because of the 55-minute time limit. I mean, that's still 30 minutes away. For now, it's still all about survival. But the Flak 36s also now start to work really well as AA. As you can see, only one of the Ju-88s gets its bombs off. All of them get hit quite hard. At least the bombs stop the Fallschirmjägers, but they don't even kill any. So... stopped, and in town it's a fight for survival against all the Fallschirmjägers. His Toldis and Nimrods though do a pretty solid job. More Hujaroks coming in, Hujaroks with MG42s, which are quite good, even against Fallschirmjägers. And more off-map here. Off-map cars rolling in. I'm not quite sure why Artie is not firing. Guess he forgot about it. The 40M, can it get some kills here? Aiming now. Onto the Tiger, I would say. Okay, keeping accurate shot here. Should be in range, right? Each shell deals 10 damage. 180mm penetration. But why is it not firing? Pretty sure it should be firing it now. Why did it not get a kill? Another Flak 36 moving forward. Off-map vehicles are around. Be careful to not get them sniped from any side. Tiger moving in. Flak 36 is around. Artillery finally firing. Trying to hit some of the Flak 36. I guess that's what the off-map, what the plane was around as well. Crazy 1914. Hello to your channel. 2 off-maps being called in. As you can see, more infantry as well. And the artillery is... wow! The 150mm don't joke around, do they? Getting the kill onto the first Flak 36. And if you clean up the Flak 36s and your Ju-88 bombers can run Rampage again, that might be really scary. We have not seen any fighters from Herr Robert just yet. He has the good Italian RE 2005. So if he uses those, he could do quite well in shooting them down, but we haven't seen them, and Herr Robert not the biggest air user. Another Flak 36 coming around. He's a big fan of the 88s. Meanwhile, artillery keeps on firing. It's the next Flak 36. Tiger gets penetration against the Jagdpanzer, but higher rate of fire here prevails, and Tiger goes down. Flak 36 over here, not quite getting killed off. Ju-88 coming around, next off-map coming in. Double off-map again, with the 105mm. They're not the biggest killers, but they can be quite helpful. Not quite getting kill onto the Flak 36 over here, another off-map in the north. Can Shkodder make the victory happening? BF-109 gets the bombs off onto the Flak 40. Quite annoying there. Nimrod not able to get the kill. Jarok with MG42s are around. In the north, Jargol-Yorsk. And so on coming around. More normal Jaroks off map should help out getting this flag back. Question is, can you get the flag in the middle? Jaroks coming in big numbers. Off map is hitting. Ju-88 from the other side now. Ye is firing, but most likely... no, it actually gets the pin. And the Ju-88 is actually lying directly above the Nimrods now. So they actually should be able to get the kill here. If I'm not wrong. And the off map does a good job at pinning down quite a lot of stuff. Yeah, Ju-88 shut down. Big one there. And he gets another flag back here. With a good off map in the north, he could get the flag back there. That would be a 12-12. He needs to get a full-on breakthrough here. He needs to get to a 59 at some point at least, maybe even 18-6, so he has to break her over here, and I'm not quite seeing that just yet. Looks like he's on his way pushing back, but at the same time a lot of friendlies of Herr coming in the south. Turan's on the way. Turan 2's quite helpful in these scenarios. Whilst Jargol-Yorsk getting pushed back over here. 14-10 for Herr. Next off map coming in. More Turans rolling in. Jargol-Yorsk hitting here. Yeah, Herr might be pushing too hard. He might not be playing for the time limit thing. He maybe just wanted to finish it off and be done with it, whilst an off-map hits in the center. Or maybe he forgot about the time limit. Can happen as well. Obviously not supposed to, but could happen as well. But I guess he still feels like he has the power to just push Shkodder off the battlefield, but he really just doesn't need to. He just needs to hold out. Keep Shkodder maybe a bit longer on the tick and then just go on the defensive. Another Ju-88 comes in. Artillery pieces have been silent for now. Whilst Jarok tries to deal with these guys. In the north, 4 squads of those. Sharks trying to deal with some Vulture eager pioneers. Pioneers are retreating, and it's back to a 12-12, which is really good for Shkodder. But he needs more. He still needs more. J88 down in the south gets through for Herr Robert. So infantry over here is in a bit of a pickle. Grenadiers gets killed off. Whilst his J88 falls back. Flak 36 hitting the infantry. But yes, a lot of units have fallen for Herr Robert in the center. A lot of Fallschirmjägers down. This doesn't look too hot for him. Flak 36 gets killed off as well. Whilst over here, we got more Huja rocks coming in. Fallschirmjäger here goes down. 31 M's are hitting the town hard. Fallschirmjägers getting killed off there. And Shkodder is up to 13-11, which would not be enough. He needs a 59. He needs a 59. With a 59 he will win in time. With 13-11 he doesn't quite do that. So he needs to push harder. Whilst over here MG42s get hit hard. And it's interesting to see the first couple of games with time limit hit in. I mean, we saw that also in the games that El Bowser casted yesterday. We also had a game where time limit kicked in, and I really enjoy it. Like, now we need to see Shkodder pushing back. Herr Robert could go full on defensive mode, just needs to hold. But yeah, he might have overextended a bit. He might have overextended a bit. Whilst he puts it back into a 12-12 in the south though. Maybe even with 13-11. If you get the 13-11, every tick obviously he gets on Shkodder means that Shkodder needs to tick him back. So that could be quite helpful. But the Hussar over here not quite pinned down just yet. And the Ju-88 fleet comes in. And they will be painful. But 12-12 obviously is good here for Herr Robert. And means that Shkodder needs to get to the double take even faster. Because every 2 seconds he doesn't take Herr Robert down now, he needs a double take on later. So every second passing by right now for Herr Robert is a really, really good second. Because obviously you can see the pendulum has swung. It's really Shkodder on the forward march now. And Herr Robert all about holding out. 12-12 continues. Grenadier over here. .12 continues. Sujarok coming in. ME410 for Robert trying to come in, but the Nimrods and co still really, really good. Even this ME410 might go down again. It's close. Nope, it survives for now, but it didn't get its bomb squad up. So it means another investment of a Robert that didn't pay off at all. But he keeps it at a 12-12, and this now starts to become scary. Only 19 minutes left, and Herr Robert brought him down quite low. Herr Robert just needs to be careful to not lose complete cohesion here. He gets hit hard here. Don't focus on the 12-12 for too long, maybe. But just keep it on a 1 tick. Keep it on a 1 tick. With a 1 tick, Shkodder will not win the game. So that should be the focus here. Obviously, if he can get this flag back and bring Shkodder a bit further down, that would be nice. But winning the game full on here by taking down Shkodder completely out of the question now for Herr Robert. He will not get a long tick here anymore, I would say. But yeah, grabbing this flag here, really good. 13-11 for a second, at least one more tick there on Shkodder. There's another second that Shkodder needs to tick him back. And one more second here. One more time. Another flag. That Shkodder doesn't take Herr Robert down. Else we're now down to 17 minutes. This game is getting close. 7 minute 10. 7 minute 10 is what we need to keep up on the one tick. That's what we need to keep our eye on. Our Golyorsk getting hit here. Golyorsk over there gets killed. Orcs over here getting hit really hard. Yeah, we need more air power and more artillery power for the victory for Shkodder. Shkodder needs them badly. But Robert is holding firmly now. Needs a bit more reinforcements in the middle, maybe. It's a bit scary. I don't know if A is really worthwhile right now, because Shkodder just can overwhelm it all anyways. And yeah, this is... Oh. Yeah, these 149 millimeters are really, really tough to fight against. 130 points only. And if they hit you, if they hit your infantry guns, they deal a lot of damage. Maybe this Fellshaven Pioneer should go for another tick here. Try to keep the flag. 12-12 continues. A lot of forces for Shkodder in the south. Ooh. And we're now at 16 minutes till the end of the game. Can Herr Robert hold out for this long? It will be quite tough for him. He will most likely lose this flag relatively soon. He kind of needs to hold on to this flag. He needs more infantry in the center. Brings in artillery. Brings in artillery in the north as well. The artillery is really easy to kill off with the artillery of Shkodder, so maybe not the most cost-effective thing right now. 334s here, really helpful. Feltraming over here dies, Feltraming over here dies. 13-11. 7 minute 10 for, so 22 minutes. Need of tick, but we don't have 22 minutes, so there is need for a double tick here. Jagdpanzer survives for now. Is really inaccurate with its shots now though, so has to be careful as we are up on the 13-11. More air comes in here now though. Heavy air spam by Shkodder, but Robert needs to hold on. And every damage he can deal to one of these means longer reload time, so the AA there playing out well as well, because with time limit, putting damage onto planes means they can be called in less often till the end of the game. Jagdpanzer gets killed off though, and this push looks like it will work out here. Tiger is on the way for Robert. Infantry is on the way as well. J-88 might be able to stop this push for now. We'll see. We'll see. That might be really, really important. Also, Tiger's trying to do a good job here for Robert at this position. Trying to beat some infantry back. 14-10 for Shkodder. This is really bad for Robert. He needs to keep that in the north, but there's a lot of forces coming his way. Bombing run, not too shabby, but not too amazing either. That's the Grenadiers don't have any AT weapons, so the terrain is quite scary. Herr Robert gets it back under his control for now. Has his mortars in the middle now. We could get this flag, this would obviously be amazing, but I don't quite see that anymore. Too many Huzaroks and too many light tanks around. This game is close. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. With 14 minutes, he would have 13 minutes left, which would be double the points that Shkodder still has left. So he needs a double tick for like 7 minutes, yeah. So in like he has 7 minutes to get to a 59. And obviously, if Robert somehow can bring it back to a 12-12, this would be really good for him. 12-12 for a while would put so much more pressure onto Shkodder, but I just don't quite see it. So I guess he has to go from here. Tiger is around. Tyran trying to come in, gets killed off though. Huzaroks moving into the north. Can Shkodder make it work? Tries to hit in the center. His artillery is really good now. Mortars with radio though on the other side, also not too shabby. And it's only a 14-10 now because he doesn't have the flag in the north anymore. Flak 40 versus Flak 36. Interesting fight there. Flak 36 will get the next shot. Most likely not. No, it actually gets 2 kills there. Okay, Flak 40 goes down. Good kill there for Herr Robert. But he can't quite push himself. Too many Tyrans around. Can't move his Jagdpanzer that far up. And wouldn't even bring it back to a 12-12 as he has lost both flags in the south. But he is going for the flag in the north. Herr Robert trying to bring in more infantry, trying to hold out there. Tiger maybe not in a perfect position. He needs to keep this flag for a bit longer. BF-109s and Ju-88s trying to come in. Oh, it's a 59 now. 12 minutes. This means he would even still nearly get the victory here, and for sure would have Herr Robert lower than Herr Robert has him. Ooh, ME410 gets the pin. We have another bombing run over here, killing off some of his own grenadiers, bringing it back to a 10-14 though. And this is important for Robert. More and more units flooding in for Shkodder in the north. Somewhat slowly getting to this flag. Robert bringing in more reinforcements over here. I would have liked them more in this area. Flag 36. Ooh, he even gets the flag here though. So if he can pin this Jarogolyorsk down, he might get this flag back. Yeah. And that's a 12-12. And the 12-12 is so good for him right now. But Shkodder gets the flag over here back for a second. Grenadiers moving in, but so are the Hujaraks. Ooh. Both sides engaging each other here. Grenadiers moving forward, not quite pushing the front line though. And now everything opens up. Tyran helping out against the MGs. Tiger helping out over here, getting the kill onto Tyran. Needs to move up. Needs to engage the infantry. Grenadiers getting pinned down. 13-11 only for Shkodder again. 11 minutes on the clock. Tries to go for the north. More Herr Robert coming in here. This game is damn close. Tiger hitting the rock MG42. Obviously, yeah, if Herr Robert somehow could get this flag back for now, this would be completely painful for Shkodder. Having no take at all right now would be really, really devastating. Meaning he would have to hold the 59 for even longer. Tiger is hitting the infantry, but the Jarogolyorsk over here are still not pinned down. Grenadiers with MG42 will now try to cross the open. These Hujarok maybe should move forward. Ooh, it's getting really close here now. But these are not pinned down, so they keep on holding for now. 81mm mortar moving to the rear. Robert slightly holding the flag in the north, slightly holding the flag over here. But Shkodder gets the flag in the north again. Tiger moving in. There's the 40Ms though, which are dangerous. 81mm mortar not quite doing the job just yet. More infantry for Herr Robert. 14-10. 10 minutes to go. Flag here, still under Herr Robert's control. Tries to get the flag back here as well. Tiger rolling in. In the south, now a heavy air bombardment by Shkodder, trying to push through. Got the Jagdpanzer killed there. Fokker Wolves coming in as well. Fallschirmjäger trying to hold. Tyran moves forward. Will get stopped by the Tiger though. In a second. Yeah, Tyran goes down. Hujaroks go down as well. Tiger moving forward. Flag 41 is around as well. 59 though, as both flags in the south and the flag in the north fall. This is still good enough for Shkodder. So Robert needs to stop this. But Tiger goes down in the north, and this means it's quite a bit harder to stop him now in the north. The Tiger was really key here. Bombardment is doing an okay job, but Shkodder's tanks and infantry doing a really good job as well, getting the surrender there. And the pin down over here on the Grenadier MG42, really key right now. Tiger trying to get the kill onto the Jarogolyorsk, but not quite doing so before they can finish off the Grenadier. Getting the take on going. And Tyran's moving in. Infantry over here nearly cleared. And this looks quite good for Shkodder now. This looks quite good for Shkodder now. What a close game. 16-8 now for Shkodder, who's pushing in the south. Has to do the counter push now, here and then. Rarok's rolling in. Whilst Tiger E is firing onto Tyran in the rear. Surrender here by Shkodder. But I think he got it. It's close. It's quite close. But yeah. I feel like he got enough flags now, as he got the flag over here now as well. So he might be losing this flag here, but I don't think so either. He has enough infantry around. Tiger is trying to move. 81mm mortar over here got killed. Don't quite see how Robert can get the northern flag back either. Maybe with enough air spam of his own, I guess. Whilst Riggers try to keep the south. Yeah, he needs a flag. Hence the Grenadier MG42 coming in over here. 9 minutes. Meaning would be 2 minutes something remaining. Which would be 4 minutes compared to a 1 tick. Which would get Shkodder the victory. Artillery rolling in here. Yours getting hit. More J87 D5s. BF109 coming in. Together with ME410. Trying to hunt down the Ju-88, 87. Not quite able to do so though. And the Tiger will be hit, and the Tiger will be killed by the second one. And this is key. Shkodder also holding the flag here with a single Hujar Golyorsk. So even if the flag over here would fall, he would still be in the lead. Really important there. Belgian battery for trying to come in, but it's a 17-7 now. Might even be an 18-6 as the southern flag is also starting to fall into the hands of Herr Robert. Still a somewhat close fight, but the air superiority of Shkodder is starting to kick in. 16-8 here. 7 minutes 57. We have 109 trying to retaliate. We'll get the fallback. Belgium battery for will get the flag over here. Tiger's rolling in, but mortar gets killed, and it seems like Robert is out of infantry. He brings in the Nashorn now. 9:15. 9:15 it is right now. If he could bring it back to a 10-14, he would still win right now, but not for long anymore either. Not for long anymore either. He needs to bring it back right here, right now. 4 minutes 30 remaining, and I don't quite see where. Maybe with Tiger rolling on just over here, but there's the M40Ms over here to help out against that, and the air spam is coming through here now. Another flag for Shkodder. Another flag for Shkodder in the north. Yeah, this is it. Shkodder will win this game. It's a hell of a fest, but he seems to get it. This is a really, really good one. 81mm mortar from the rear. We'll try to fire. For Robert here. What a game. Robert a bit overextending. Nice comeback here though by Shkodder. And just in time, but okay, now he got Robert completely on the ropes. If he would capture another flag here, he would even win still in time. But he needs to do it in the next couple of seconds. Does he do so? Yeah, he does. Okay, 18-6 now. So now he even still wins in the time limit. 18-6 here for Shkodder. Also, this artillery will fire, and yeah, Herr Robert completely broken. Completely broken, completely out of stuff. RE 2005 trying to fly around. What a game by Shkodder. Robert bringing back the flag in the south at least to not lose before to at least make it over the time limit. I mean, for now he even has more points, but he would have to bring it back to a 12-12 just in the next couple of seconds, and I'm not seeing that happening. We have some fucking wolves now building a Flak 36. And the artillery of Shkodder in the rear, just in beast mode. 18-6 now, 2 minute 18. As you can see, the bar shrinking really quickly. That's artillery is coming in from the rear. Flak 36 getting hit here. 18-6, 1 minute 56 remaining. And that would just end it a couple of seconds before the time limit would kick in anyways. So Shkodder fighting right now to finish it without the time limit needing to kick in. And now he's up at 24. So yeah, this game is completely over. Completely collapsing is Herr Robert right now. It's the heir of Lovash is ruling the skies. And the artillery also helps out. It's only a couple of tigers remaining really now for Robert. Only a couple of big cats around. But they themselves will not win this game. Now it's even with 21. Just, for a second there was a 21-3 there. Might be it in a second again. But doesn't really matter. Hey, there we go. 21-3. 25 seconds. Damn! What a game! What a game! Shkodder will secure himself game number 1, but it was a close one. It was a really close one. He was holding out in the center just so for quite a while. But he was able to turn it around thanks to off-map, thanks for good bombers, and thanks to good artillery play, whilst always having a good combined arms of light tanks and 2 Jaroks all game through. And he gets game number 1. And yeah, in the end, he just massacred all of Robert's forces there. And brings the comeback around. GGVP to him there. And now, we'll do a short break, and then we will be back with game number 2 in a minute. Here we go, game number 2, and it already started, and we see Herr Robert once more with 6 airborne, just like against Gonzo, and again with a mosquito start. On the other side, Shkodder bringing around in somewhat newer division, the 11th SS Panzergrenadier Nordland. And this is nasty. Will Shkodder react? Hopefully he does. Please, yeah. Reverting his moves there. Whilst Herr is trying on Shadreen to get all the hills in time. No! Oh, no! 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 You reverted 2 units, why didn't you revert the rest? Like, okay, driving the Pumas through is maybe fine, but deals a bit of damage to them as well. But, oh no! Driving the infantry through there. Ah, losing 3 Panzer Grenadier squads there is a big one. 14-10 for Herr Robert here. 13-11 now. Oh boy. Speerwagen gets killed off. Speerwagen over here still moving. Tetrarchs on the march. MG keeping up the fire. Tempest coming in for the bombing run. Oh god, that was already quite brutal. But Shkodder is moving in over here with some Panzer Grenadiers. Tetrarchs and quite a couple of air landing trying to push forward. Pumas doing a good job over here. Always love these boys with their 75mm. Oh, a 50mm. Long barreled gun. Trying to stop the Oxen Bucks from coming out. 13-11 so far for Herr Robert. Shooter knocked out. Tetrarchs and Little John rolling in. Speerwagen gets killed off. Yeah, Herr Robert likes to be nasty. Shooter knocked out once more. Tetrarch Little John doing a good job there. Bullying the Stuk. And it's in range and it can hit. Gets another crit there with the transmission damage as APCR shells do more crits. Deal that this damage. But Herr Robert up to 59. Now rolling in, trying to hunt down the Puma. And this doesn't look good for Shkodder whatsoever. A lot of infantry around here. Well, having the hill here at least is a bit of a glimmer of hope. But losing the Puma here is big. Tetrarchs now can roll in onto the MG42 and just gun it down with their MGs. Do they have Bessas? They have Bessas. Bessa is the best tank MG, so Tedrock actually deal quite a bit of damage with their tank MGs as well. Tedrock Little John with its tank MG against the MG 42. Flak 36 is around. 16-8 already for Herr Robert. Both playing Maverick, so at least has a bit of comeback potential with the income. But Stuck goes down to the Little John. Little John did a really good job here. Pack 40 rolling forward. Canadian Paras with Molotovs coming up onto the hill, I guess. Or into the forests. No, actually they go onto this hill. Puma comes around, will roll up, but the Pack 40 and the Tetrock Little John are here. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. 222 with a Stuck comes around. Meanwhile in the north, Panzer Grenadier sitting out there. Tedrock rolling forward in here. Ox and Bucks moving forward against the MG42. That's the Tedrock. Comes up there. More Tedrocks rolling up. Airborne Canadians dealing with the Panzer Grenadiers. Glider crew joining them as well. Tempest did another bombing run. Flak 36 is around, but not really. Single Flak 36 will not stomp Tempests. Flak 36 not really that good. It's a 17-7 now for Robert, and this game starts to derail more and more for Shkodder. Shkodder in a pickle right now. 17-7 here for Herr Robert. And this time the Mosquito 5 bomber did actually something. I mean, actually even got a kill against Gonzo, which was not a typical mistake Gonzo does usually. Tedrock Little John should come up a bit faster here against the Stuck, otherwise his little Tedrock friends over here will be dead before he's around. Yeah, should have disengaged there before coming around with the little Little John. 1v1 the Little John is in the tough position. Yeah, gets killed. Gets a penetration against the Stuck, but gets killed off right after. Ooh, Pack 40 though, shooting the 222 and getting the kill on the 222 even. Adding insult to injury. In the town it's at least going somewhat well. But another Mosquito fighter bomber coming in. Well, the Flak 36 at least good enough to stop Mosquitoes, as they're not that quick. More and more Robert's forces rolling up though. Little John coming in. We have an Arado nuke bomber coming in with the 1K bombs. Trying to hit its target. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Arado? It's a 17-7. Arado didn't drop its bomb. What the hell happened? Yeah, big question mark there from Shkodder as well. And Shkodder surrenders as his front line fell apart. GG. GGVP here. And Robert gets the victory. Yeah. Yeah, Robert got the victory here with his 6th airborne here. Got the victory. I would ban 6 airborne more against him than DFL, I would say. I feel like Robert might be weaker with DFL, for example. First of all, he didn't play so much lately. Well, he played a lot back in the 6th airborne meta. But yeah, Robert gets himself a point again. Another point for Robert on the scoring board. He's always solid. He's always the guy who gets all the ties. Like, it has been that in the long run. He never makes it up to the finals and the playoffs, but he's always someone who takes some points from other players. And he does it here again. Not getting too many victories usually. Like, he's always on the edge of making it to the playoffs, but Robert always the guy you need to beat if you want to make it to the playoffs. And it looks like it's the same this time again. And yeah. But I mean, yeah, let also maybe just don't ban the OP division and go for OP matchup. Like, there's a reason. Like, if we have so many OP divisions, then yeah, I feel like we have too many bans. As I said, it's not like the divisions up there are completely broken on their own, other than third FJ, and like the others can beat them. Like, for example, you can play Fallschirmjägers with 5th Gebirgsjäger and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite tough. As I said, I would reduce it to 8 bans, down from 10. Maybe even only 6. But no, 8 would make more sense, but 10 feel too many. No bans, no bans is bad, but because there's always some really completely broken stuff, and with some bans you also can, like, yeah, if you go for 6 bans you can bust the completely broken shit, like 3rd FJ, and then also go for some bans against the enemy. But I would rather, like, leave some of the really strong shit open. Because, yeah, bans are not there to just ban all the top divisions. If you play for that, that doesn't work out. That doesn't work out. And we have enough top tier divisions around, right? To play. Like, goal is not to make everyone play with B tier or C tier divisions. Goal is to just allow for some counterplay against the enemy, adjustments for the map, and get the worst offenders. Nah, more bans is not what's gonna happen. Like, more bans doesn't make sense. It's the wrong idea. It's the wrong idea. Like, if you look at other games, at other video games, bans are always, like, even always around like the 5% mark of what's available in the game. 5 to a maximum of 10%, and we're already over 10% right now with the amount of bans compared to the amount of divisions we got, like available stuff we got. So I'm already feel like 10 is too many. Like 5 to 10% of the available options is what bans should aim for, because that's the worst offenders plus a bit of choices to ban divisions that counter your stuff. But like going overboard and just forcing everyone to play second tier divisions